Welcome, everybody. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your day. My name is Kimmy Adamson, and I do the marketing for Live Nation here in Lexington. And we are so very excited about today's announcement. So we'll go ahead and get started. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to the Executive Associate Athletic Director, Jason Schlaffer.
Thanks, Kimmy. First of all, welcome everyone to Kroger Field for what we feel is a very special announcement of our first ever concert in our stadium. You all will remember, those of you from this market, that several years ago we underwent a significant renovation to this facility. And the vision that the president and the athletic director had for this facility was that it would be used beyond the 7 to 8 football game days that we'd have every year. We've been able to do that in some of our premium spaces, but today we're really excited to announce a whole stadium use for this community. Later on this morning, when you have a chance to speak to and see the headlining act, you'll be able to understand how significant this place is for this act and for this community. So to talk a little bit more about the operation of this concert and our role with Live Nation, I want to introduce you to Michael Belkin from Live Nation.
Thank you, Jason. Thanks, everyone, for coming. My name is Michael Belkin. I'm with Live Nation. We've been booking shows in this marketplace, in this state, for 35, 40-some years. This is a special day. This one goes to the top of the list, at least for me personally, and I'm quite certain for everybody that's going to be a participant in the show. We're actually excited to be also partnering with the University of Kentucky Athletics on the first ever show here at Kroger Field. We've been a part of a number of firsts, but this is actually really special. There's just a nice local feel to it. To be the first one in this stadium, to have such a special show is going to be something that's going to be a memorable day for everybody. What's also a very key element to the show is that 100% of the net proceeds of the concert will go to the newly created Outlaw State of Kind Hometown Fund. The Outlaw State of Kind Hometown Fund. Kentucky-born Chris Stapleton is bringing his friends Willie Nelson and Family, Sheryl Crow and Yola, here for the first ever concert on Saturday, April 25th. The show will begin at 6 p.m. And that's the Concert for Kentucky. And that's the Concert for Kentucky. Okay, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So the key information there, tickets are going to go on sale Friday, October 11th at 10 a.m. All this information, by the way, if you don't have it in your kit, will be live at Ticketmaster beginning at 11:30, just in a few minutes. So without further ado, the man of the hour, our distinguished guest, Chris Stapleton.
I don't normally do things like this. This is a lot for me, but I want to say thank you for being here today and helping us announce this. We're going to, try to do some good things with this show. And I was born here in Lexington, Kentucky. And I was raised in Eastern Kentucky my whole life. And so to get to come here and do this and be the first person to play this field and have some friends like Willie Nelson and Sheryl Crow and Yola come help me do it is it's a real kind of bucket list thing for me. So I don't know. We can probably move on to Q&A now, but I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. But thank you.
Very good. Does anyone have any specific questions?
Chris, talk a little bit about this is your hometown show. Are you going to have, it's going to be filled with friends and family. What's it going to be like to take that stage in front of a sea of people who know who you are, many of whom you've probably grown up with?
Well, I don't know how many of, hopefully, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to feel. I feel pretty weird right now, just standing here looking out there. But so it'll obviously be, there'll be a lot of emotions coming into that show, and coming into this show, and coming into this field and this town. I have a lot of people who've supported me over the years, friends and family, that have helped me get to where I'm at right now, and this is a big deal for me, and also a lot of the folks that I work with. They work really hard to put this show together. This is something I've been trying to do and thinking about doing for, a big charity show for Kentucky for a number of years now. So I'm really happy to get to give back, and it's going to feel really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Anyway, what is the Outlaw State of Kind charity fund? Is that a hometown fund? Is that something that's personal for you, or is that something that's been created for this concert?
The hometown fund has been created for this concert specifically, and our initial notion is to help music and arts education here in Kentucky, but we want to go beyond that too, and look for other needs here in Kentucky, and kind of keep growing that and filling needs as we can find them. So the folks at the Community Foundation are going to help us do that, and together we're going to hopefully do lots and lots of good.
Thank you. And one more question: have you been to Kroger Field before?
Have I been to Kroger Field before? I don't know that I have. I went to UK briefly. I don't think I made it over here, though.
When this idea for the concert was brought forth to you, what was your initial reaction?
Well, it wasn't really brought to me. It's something I've worked on with Red Light, and this was something that we were kind of dreaming up together, and we wanted to find a place in Kentucky that would support a big show like this, that we could hopefully put some money into a charity fund for all the things I just described. And this is really kind of coming from the heart. It's not something that somebody I guess brought to us. It's something that we sought out. And so Kroger Field's been kind enough to let us in here. UK folks have been great to work with, and I'm looking forward to it. So.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Are you able to speak about how the seating will work, capacity, anything like that?
I'm going to handle a logistical question over to. Okay.
So all this will be, again, on Ticketmaster.com. We'll get a little bit more specific. But, what you're seeing, all that green will be filled up with chairs other than the equipment. We'll obviously have some kills on the sides, but it'll be just like a football game on the side, reserved seats. The field will also be reserved, maybe a small general admission pit, depending. But for those that have been to stadium shows, this will just be bigger and better, but similar in nature.
Any other questions?
Chris said something that struck me. The University of Kentucky and Chris have a few things in common, one of which we're both born here in Lexington. But secondly, neither of us, neither the university, and to his point, Chris, is who we are without Eastern Kentucky. So to be a part of an event here in Lexington that supports the folks that have supported this place for so long is really special.
Anybody else? All right, so
Deanne.
Hey, Chris, we're so happy to have you here in Kentucky.
happy to be here.
Back home. Welcome back home. Quick question. How did that conversation go down between you and Willie and Sheryl? Hey, Buzz, we want you to come hang out with us in Lexington for a night.
Well, there's a lot more probably booking agents and people involved like that, but we kind of brainstorm, and I've played shows with Willie, and I've done things with Sheryl, recorded and played shows with her here and there. So Yola is a new friend, but looking forward to having her here. Yeah, it basically is just like, hey, can you do this? You want to come do this? And they're like, yeah. So that's the long and short of it. I'm sure managers and booking agents would tell you it was much more involved than that.
Right. Did you and Sheryl talk about it the other night when you were on Jimmy Fallon? Did you say, can't wait to see you in Kentucky?
I don't know that we did talk about it specifically. We were talking, we were going to do some things. I flew up there just for that. I was on vacation, and I love Sheryl so much. She's a sweetheart of a lady and does lots of good things in a charitable way. So she's an inspiration that way, as is Willie. It's kind of a double your pleasure kind of event for me, because these are people that I've watched get to do good things over the years and have really inspired me to do things like this. So, to have them come out, I didn't really have much of a question as whether or not they would come if they were not doing something else. So those are the kind of folks that they are.
Well, thank you. We're looking forward to the show.
Would there be a new song or any new material for this new breaking event?
Will there be a new song or any new material? We've been playing some new material on the road. Will there be anything released commercially? I don't think so, but I can't make any promises one way or the other. Who knows what could happen between now and then? Nice try, though.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys all very much. On behalf of Live Nation, thank you to Chris and his team for coming out. Thank you to UK and their team for all the help in putting this together. So
again, I want to thank Chris for this. It's not often that you get such an artist of this magnitude, first ever show, home community, net proceeds to a charitable fund. That's really, really unprecedented. So I want to thank Chris for putting forth, the extra effort. And I just wanted to reiterate, what a magical evening this will be when you get all those elements together in a special place like this and a special artist like this. This will be a night for this community to never forget. So thank you all for coming, and thank you to Chris especially. You're off the hook. Now you just got to play. All right.